If you're a small business owner, coach or consultant, or someone who knows high value skills and wants to teach them online specifically, then this video will help you gain more clarity whether or not you should build an organic content funnel with YouTube to build an audience that's monetizable. And to evaluate if that's the case for you, we will look at three aspects. First of all, we will look at a questionnaire to help you identify if, on a personal level, posting organic content is something that would benefit you. Then we will look at the problem with other distribution and client acquisition channels, such as normal social media, TikTok and Instagram, cold emails, cold DMs, cold calling, and so on. And then we will look at a template. If you identify YouTube as a channel that you should be building out, what system could help you create the most value for your content and maximize your time while doing so to build an audience that is monetizable for you. Let us get started with the first aspect of this video. We want to find out if organic content is for you. And to do so, I've prepared some questions that we should dive in to find that out. First of all, are you an interesting person? In my opinion, an interesting person is someone who has stories to share, who has went through trials and tribulations, and who is someone that has a mission in life and shares commonalities with other people. And most people are interesting people. So let's say this is a yes. Then the next one is, do you have something to teach? Do you have high value skills that you have acquired for yourself? And do you already have systems? Have you documented what works for you and what doesn't? Or do you have templates that you can share with other people? If so, then let's move on, because the next important question to ask yourself is, do you need more hot leads for your current business case? And if the question is yes, because you can never have too many hot leads, do you want to scale your business? So are you currently in a position where you say, okay, yeah, I want to build something that will grow over time and is not really reliant on leverage from my side, so time or money, but leverage in form of media? If so, then let's move on to the next one. Are you playing a long-term game? Long-term game meaning, are you planning to build a business that lasts you for years, for decades maybe, or even for your lifetime? If not, if you're just out to make quick money, then you should try pump and dump models. But if you want to play a long-term business game, then you should ask yourself if you want time and location freedom. If so, then there are many other questions that you could be asking yourself. But if you've answered yes to most of these questions, or to all of them hopefully, then you should build and grow your business with organic YouTube content. Why? Let's dive into why you should consider doing so. When we look at other acquisition and distribution channels, starting off with a distribution channel such as Instagram, you basically create content, then a stranger watches your content, they swipe by it, then the question is, does that person resonate with your content? If the person doesn't resonate with your content, they will just ignore you and continue swiping. But if they resonate with your content, then they will watch even more content, they will become a follower of you, and they will engage with your call to actions and offer if you have targeted the right person. And if they engage with your call to actions and your offers, then they will become a client and watch even more content because they're now in your ecosystem. This is all good and great, and these channels are perfect for building audiences online with organic content. But the problem with this distribution channel is you produce content, then that content performs for a couple of days, and then people continue swiping after watching your content immediately. And what happens is they forget you, and this is just a vicious circle that continues repeating itself. And with that said, using social media such as TikTok and Instagram is great, but since your content is not evergreen, it's really hard to build leverage with these platforms. And if we look at other acquisition channels, such as cold calls, ads, cold emails, and cold DMs, strangers engage with your ad when they see it, or they answer the calls, and then they are either interested in your pitch or not. If they're not interested, they will just ghost you immediately. But if they're interested, then the next thing that they will do is to search you up. And if they find nothing interesting, they will ghost you because you're someone that has no proof behind what they're trying to sell. So you lose time and money because you spend so much time creating the creatives and so much time trying to call people and so much money setting up the ads. And if they find something interesting, they will then hop on a call with you if it's really something they resonate with. And then only you have a chance to convert. So what is the common thread between these? Let's find it out with cold emails and cold DMs. So you contact a stranger. They Google you. This is a common thread. They will search you up no matter what acquisition or distribution channel that people have the first touch point with your offer with. And if they Google you and they find nothing about you, they will not trust you and they will never reply to your messages, so you lose time and money. But if they find something that gives them some trust points, that shows them that you're a real person and that you're a real business owner, then they will reply to you and then you will have a chance to convert them. Let's just look at YouTube next. With YouTube, you create content. The stranger watches the content, and if they do not resonate with your content, they will ignore you. But most likely, they will be recommended more content from you in the future because they've watched it already. And if they still do not resonate with your message, they still hate you and ignore you and ghost you. But if somehow they resonate with your content and get interested, they will watch even more content from you. Then they will become a follower and they will engage with your call to actions and offers and build more trust since they've gone through so much content from you, they've had a lot of touch points with you, and if your content is great and you've addressed the right audience, they will want to buy from you and become your clients. And what we've got here, why I'm really stressing that you need to build distribution channels next to your acquisition channels, is the 7-11 for study finding from Google. And that means people will most of the time watch 7 hours of content or read 7 hours of content over 11 different touch points, because they won't watch or read 7 hours of your content in one sitting, and across 4 digital locations, meaning 4 channels, social media, YouTube, your blog, whatever. And with this rule in mind, with this finding in mind that people need 7 hours of content over 11 touch points across 4 channels, you see the big problem starting to ensue here if you do not rely on organic distribution and acquisition channels such as YouTube and social media, because people will only then engage with you if they can start to find your content online and if they can find out if you're really legit or not. If people find out that you are legit, only then will you have the chance to really convert them. And this is a problem that many people face with their businesses. They spend a lot of money on ads, etc., but they do not build a brand for themselves, meaning they do not have organic content online. And with this rule in mind, YouTube is, in my opinion, one of the best things that you can start to build a monetizable audience online, because it is the best of both worlds. First of all, you have the power of social media distribution, meaning that you can create content that goes viral, that reaches a lot of people because it's free content and because YouTube is such a huge platform. And you also have the added bonus that the content you create on YouTube is evergreen. So you build a library of content that will also be recommended to people in 3 to 4 to 5 years. You have playlists of content so people can really dive into specific problems that they want to solve with your content. And then you also have the added advantage of the quality of leads you can generate through your content on YouTube, because not only is it long form content, but because the content on YouTube helps people really build more trust with you. So in my opinion, everyone that wants to build a serious business and thinks about long-term business games should have organic social media content, organic YouTube content, and also every other channel to build out their business acquisition and distribution channels. So if you haven't started with YouTube yet, here's the point where we look at the funnel that you can apply to your business. This is a funnel, an organic content funnel that I have reverse engineered from super successful content creators such as Dan Coe, for example. And what they basically do is they really optimize the 7-11-4 rule from the Google study findings. What they basically do is they most of the time have an optional idea validation platform. So meaning they post their ideas on X, like Alex Ramosi, where he writes down things that come to his mind. And based on the highest performing tweets or threads, he then creates content for his long form channels, meaning his podcast, meaning his YouTube channel. And it doesn't really matter what long form channels you use, but what matters is that you really nail one of them. And the one that I really recommend is YouTube, at least. Then you can also break down your content into blog posts here, for example, Medium or Substack. Then you can also start your own podcast or Miro templates where you break down processes, structures, etc., such as I'm doing right now. Then after creating a long form piece of content, they have 2 ways to continue funneling people. The next one is to use the content they already created in the long form to break it down and repurpose it into smaller forms of content to grow their audience, to grow awareness, and to also build out their other acquisition channels on social media. Meaning the smallest, highest performing clips from their content, from their Twitter threads and so on, gets published on these platforms. And these platforms will then most of the time, first of all, link back to long form content and then also to your offer. Meaning you build an ecosystem. As you can already see, all of this has to work in perfect symbiosis for you to have an ecosystem that drives people through the 7-Eleven for Google findings. And basically, after repurposing their content on smaller social media platforms, they build trust and they start incorporating their offers, such as Alex Hormozi promoting his book or talking about acquisition.com. And people will then engage with these call to actions and offers if they've already built enough trust with you. And then they will access your free or paid offers. And if you have free offers, these are the best examples that are out there. So lead magnets, email courses, webinars, freebies, like freebie courses. There's so much that you can do and really try to build out and experiment to find out what works best for your audience. And within your free offer, you can also then promote your paid offer. And so you promote your paid offer in social media, on your YouTube long form content, and in your free content. And your paid offer could, for example, be a community. It could be a webinar. It could be an email course. Okay, sorry, I had a small typo. So it could be a community, a webinar, an email course, or a one-on-one consultation or coaching service that you offer your audience. So with that said, let us zoom out and look at what we have covered in this video. You have gotten a copy and paste content system from me that you can apply to funnel your ideas into long form content and to use it to promote to your paid and free offers to build even more trust with the people. Then we've validated if organic content is for you by asking ourselves these important questions. And then we've looked at the problem with other acquisition and distribution channels and why you should focus on maximizing the 7-Eleven for Google finding. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope that I could help you build out a system with which you can start building out your acquisition and distribution channels to create a holistic ecosystem so you can maximize the 7-Eleven for Google findings. And make sure to download the template with the link in the description so you can add sticky notes to each process that you are within to brainstorm what content you should produce, where you're struggling right now, and to really validate where the bottlenecks are in your acquisition channels and distribution channels. And if you're interested in building an online presence, in building a monetizable audience, then make sure to check out my link to Brand Sculptors. And let's get in touch and talk about what we can do to help you achieve that. With that said, have a great day and cheers.